Bam. Before I start this, yeah, man, like, hey, I tried to back, get so much, yeah. They tried to lynch me with him. You got the ant from Upsalt jumping up and down, chatting shit, and a bunch of other people in my comments, rare, whatever. Look, yeah. If you want me to watch something, and then you want me to be a sheep and say, 'cause you see a lot of people that give their opinions and all of that, like that beg. And what he does is, he goes in the comments, he reads the comments, he sees what the genuine consensus is, and then he just runs with that narrative. So if he thinks a lot of people are agreeing with a certain point of view, he'll jump on that point of view, on that bandwagon, and start talking like it's his own point. See me? Bro, I ain't never been a bandwagon type you. So I'm always gonna use my own brain. Like, I'm not trying to bread every one of you or be one-sided with anybody, but I'm gonna analyze what I'm gonna analyze. You get what I'm saying? Now, people like to take whatever they want to take from the actual statements that you make in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll say it again. It's very sad. Someone lost their life. I'm not saying get always in the right. I'm not saying you should drink and drive. I'm not saying you should have fled the scene. I'm not saying none of that. But I'm going to analyze and see what else could have prevented this from happening, except obviously the blatant stuff that we can see. But anyway, I kind of already went on about that before, so I ain't even really gonna go too mad on it because I know you don't kind of know what I think already anyway, and disagree already anyway. And I already told you that I don't give a fuck anyway. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's that with that really. Alright, cool. Bam. Yeah, let's hear what Rage has got to do. This vid's done really well for him as well. He's got like 17K in like 8 hours. Big him up for that. That's good numbers still. You know what I'm saying? That's good numbers.
Okay, so I just went into the court and they said to me that I could go in there and sit down, but I won't find out what courtroom it is until 10 o'clock. The time is now 9:20, so that's like 40 minutes. So I'm just gonna wait a little bit and then I'm gonna come back inside so I can find out exactly what courtroom is gonna be going on in, so I can sit inside and listen and get the find out what's actually going on.
You know what though, yeah?
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, man.
I'll
So
say
I just
this
left
though,
Gets'
yeah?
court case.
I'll say this, yeah. I think you definitely took initiative. You know, like I suppose what we're doing is kind of like journalism in a way, and sometimes you got to go to the story in it. You got to hit. You get what I'm saying? You got to hit the turf. You got to see what's going on in it, and yeah, there's loads of different blogs that are picking up this story and whatever. And not a lot of people thought about going directly to the thing. Me personally, like, I got PTSD from courts, especially that court. You know what I'm saying? I'm never gonna say which court it is, but that court, yeah? With King and Kennedy and the blind judge and I've been bad about all of them. Yeah? We just seen. If you won't catch me walking in there, this I ain't got no choice. You think I'm gonna get up on my day and voluntarily walk in there? Yeah, you got mad. One of the men that must have a mad case and I'm coming there to support. You know what I'm saying? And even then, it's tricky. Me, my case, I'm like, no, I want you not in there. Well, I don't want you not in there. They're trying to say I got caught with these and Very well. And I want the whole rest of them in there. Like, looking at the guys that I was going to go and roll around with it with and all that. Nah, bro. You know, stay in your yard, man. Let my girl come up and 122 family and try to make me look innocent. You know what I'm saying? Serious. But anyway, I'm getting beside the point. All right, let's see what happened with this case, innit? Oh, you know what? You don't can't even hear it, but I gotta go for the quality of the video before pleasing the talk. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm going to explain to you guys what happened. Justin Clark Samuels, aka Gets, court case started around 11 a.m. this morning, 27th of October at Barkingside Magistrates Court, where I sat in attendance with friends, family. His father was in attendance.
Oh my bad. I thought it was I thought it was a snazzy story. It wasn't even it's snazzy. Stay far. What do you mean? What like what? The mic of the speaker mix? Is that what you mean? Anyway, boom.
And ITV News and myself. Gets, aka Justin Clark Samuel, attended the case whilst being escorted by 3 prison guards, 2 males, 1 female. The judge began by asking Gets to confirm his full name, date of birth and current address. As it stands, Gets is being charged with death by dangerous driving. The prosecutors explained that Gets knocked over the individual and threw him up to 60 to 70 feet. He was left bleeding.
Woo. All right. So far, we're saying that it's been done for death by dangerous driving. They haven't said nothing about him driving under the influence, but they're saying that when he knocked over old boy, how he flew up to like 60 something feet. You get me? That is, yeah, that don't help. That does not help. Like, who had the ruler height measuring that? Like maybe they just looked at like what? I don't know, man. I don't know. How can you tell? I don't know. But anyway, let me just, I'm going mad. They're gonna go mad at me in the comments.
A member of the
I don't
public
care.
went to help once they saw the individual on the floor with his items scattered in the street. He was bleeding from his head and he had a pool of blood beside him. The member of public said he was non-responsive, so they began to give him CPR until the ambulance came. He had 2 collapsed lungs, fracture to the brain, and suffered cardiac arrest. A motorist who witnessed the incident gave...
Yeah, I know, Bix. I don't know. They will have to explain to us how. You would have to explain to us how, not him, but they would have to explain to us how they got. But they would have to explain that in court, how they got to like find out that it was 71 or whatever feet. They're saying that Donnie had 2 collapsed lungs, on the scene, and then they tried to give him CPR before the ambulance came and whatnot. You know what I'm saying?
Gets his car registration to the police. Police then went to his address hours later and he seemed to not remember, and he asked the police, "What car was I driving?" They searched his house and found the key for his BMW, but they couldn't see the car.
Wait. This Ray Jude is serious, you know. This Ray Jude is serious. He's going to go somewhere in life. Shall I tell you how I know that, bitch? Yeah? What hat do you think he's got on right now? What hat has he got on? My man's got the "what are we doing here" hat on. I said, oh! I said, you're getting in the algorithm. I said, yeah. I said, he's not a W. He's not a W. Yeah, he's weaving in and out of the traffic and he's making sure he's putting himself in the right places, and I respect it. I respect it still. I respect it.
The local area around his house and found that the car was parked away from his property, even though he had a parking space on his drive. The CCTV at his home address showed that Gets was the only person to get out of the car wearing the same clothing on the night. He saw the significant damage to the car with a cracked windscreen and missing side mirror that was found on the...
Bakes, they're saying, that he's gone home, jacked the motor, away from his yard, but there was space on his drive, and then he got seen jumping out of the motor by himself, wearing the same clothes that he was wearing at whatever event. So basically, they're trying to say the angle of someone else might have been driving the car is out of the window, kind of like what they're trying to say, kind of that. You know what I mean?
Seen and was linked to his vehicle. He was then taken to Islington police station. They also took a mouth swab which was positive for cannabis, and a breathalyzer which was also positive for alcohol on his breath. He said that his car had collided with another car, but the motorist obviously saw different. CCTV from the petrol station on the same
Positive for weed and the car.
night of the incident shows Getz get out of the car, fill up petrol, and go to pay. It shows he was the only person in the car as he walked away and locked the doors. Police also accessed cell site information that shows his journey along the roads that the collision had happened. He was interviewed by police and gave a no-comment interview all the way and gave no access to his mobile phone at the time. The prosecution then went... There's a lot to cover, so follow me as I will be posting a part 3. Now, before I get into everything else, which I might have to do in a second video because, yeah. But, yeah, so Getz came into the courtroom, grey sweater, grey jogging bottoms, like the police, like the prison give the prisoners and all that. He didn't look too bad, you know, he had his usual beard and everything. He looked like
civilians fucking kill me,
he lacked a little bit of sleep, if I'm being honest. He did look like he lacked a little bit of sleep. When he entered the dock, you know, like, I don't know if you lot have been to court before or whatever, but I'm going to explain it for those of you who haven't been to court and may not know how it is. So basically, you enter through one door, like all the friends and family and everyone that wants to, the public that want to view the case and hear. You enter through one door, and then there's seats. You get to sit down in the seats, and then they've got like a dock on the side, which is like a room, but it's got windows in it, glass windows. And in that room, there's a door where all the people going up for trial come in and out of that door.
Yeah, he's basically just breaking down what happens in court and how the court looks and all
opened that door. And
I'll play it for
one
you
of them
after
walked
anyway
in.
when I
They've
want to
just
take
made
it off
sure
the
that
thing when I
the door,
finish
there's another
recording.
door.
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
straight
dock as
Tatiana,
that
man.
lets you come out to the public.
Same shit,
so they
different
just
day.
made sure that that door was locked. She locked it, whatever. They brought Getz in. As Getz came in, he saw obviously his friends and family. He's nodding, saying hello to everyone, sort of thing, you know. Then he goes into the corner of the dock where the chair is for him to take a seat and for him to face the judge.
Do you know what? I don't need to hear all of this because I know how that goes.
Moment, whatever say, and then the prosecutor started explaining, yeah, he was arrested for XYZ, and this is what he was charged with before. But as it stands right now, the actual charge is going to be death by dangerous driving. Let me just go back to my notes to make sure everything's accurate. Yeah, so as it stands right now,
let me just go back to my notes.
Driving, and then the prosecutor then started going on to explain everything that I was taking notes of, you know, that I was explaining about what had happened on the night and when they found him and all of the stuff that happened, explaining all of those stuff. And then the prosecutor also then goes on to explain why he shouldn't be granted bail. The prosecutor was basically explaining that he's got so many offences, which I'm gonna get into in part 3. He's got so many offences for in relation to vehicles and other offences as well. And the prosecutor was basically saying they don't think it's safe for him to be on the streets, which is absolutely crazy. They're basically saying, bro, the prosecutor's basically trying to paint him to be a menace to society, blood, which is very deep. So yeah, the prosecutor's saying they don't think it's safe for him to be out. He shouldn't be granted bail. And then after explaining everything, they went back to the judge. And by the way, like, obviously, from a fan point of view, like, man just listening to Getz' music, and obviously, man's not thinking, man out doing so much craziness, but the prosecutor basically dragged up his whole file and had a whole list of all of his crimes. Did I write it down? Yeah. Oh, yeah. The prosecutor brought out his list
Right.
explaining
Nah, Ray just killing him. Ray just looked at my man's criminal records here and goes, yeah, the judge brought out a list of all these crimes and he goes, oof, yeah. Brother, anyhow you looked at my sheet, you would have fainted, my guy. Yeah? Fucking, it's not even a sheet, it's a couple of sheets. Anyway, it's not about me.
how many offences against his name, including all the driving offences, driving with no insurance. Yeah. So
he keeps making mad side effects. He's like driving with no insurance. He goes, nah, you need to stop doing that, Ray. You're making it sound so. Just say what the thing is, bro. Why are you doing? Oh my god, these guys.
Into the next video because I'm gonna make another one. But yeah, so and then the verdict was that the judge said, with everything that's been said today and everything that's happened, they are now going to state that, you know what? I'll mention that in part 2 as well.
Oh, you're a dickhead.
So with that being said, myself,
brother, how can my man say, yeah? The judge said that, oh, yeah, I'm gonna say that on the next video. Blood, you can't, what you did there? Like, you can't do that. Try to leave the man in suspense and all of that. I hear it though, still. I hear it. My man tried to leave us with some doof. But yeah, you know what? I hear it, man. Like, a lot of the bars he was saying and blah, 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 repeat offender, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, I was having this conversation. When did we talk about this? We spoke about this with Westwood, yeah? For the most part, as a criminal, you know, like, if you've been back for something repeatedly a couple of times, you probably got away with it a lot more other times. Some things are just, we got bad habits, man. We got bad habits as people, man. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, man, it's just unfortunate how it's gone, man. Hopefully, they don't throw the book at him. Obviously, just, bro, it's the norm, innit? Like, it's the norm for prosecution to say they don't want him to get bailed. Like, that's what they're supposed to say. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to try and make him sound like a menace to society. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're gonna act like he ain't done nothing positive since he stepped out. If I'm not mistaken, my man stepped home like decades and decades ago. I don't know if he sat down again since, but it had to have been like around about 3s and 4s or 5s. It's like, so a long time ago. It's a long time to stay out. He's done a lot of positives since. You know what I'm saying? And you know that for people like us that have been in that revolving door, innit, where man's just hardly ever making it out of license and always ending up back in there or whatever. I think he done well. You know what I'm saying? I think he done well. Obviously, he just had some habits that he was finding it hard to kick, and who doesn't? Do you know what I mean? Like Lord knows I have. So, yeah. But yeah, man. You know what? I want to look forward to seeing what Rage has got to say next about this. I spoke to him about certain ways on how to kind of approach this situation, because I wouldn't want people to try and like kind of start trying to come for him in a way. Do you know what I'm saying? And I already saw, I think I didn't even see it, but I heard that the miniature guy or whatever, the guy that's been in his car and that. You get me? I heard he tried to go mad at him and all of that, and talking about, yeah, if he ever turned up to his court case and blah, 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 blah. But so happens though, man, Rage, man. It's one of the two. You see, either you don't get no views and nobody cares, or you get views and people get mad and everybody's got opinions and the background noise gets a lot louder, innit? You get what I'm trying to say? But don't even watch all that, my bro, man. Tunnel vision, keep doing your thing, and you know the vibe, man. Don't make a pinky nose, 5-star black sheep.